Morning. Another day, another wearable test. Today, we're gonna be doing a video on the LG Velvet. Now, in these videos, if you're not familiar, I'm gonna kind of go throughout my normal day. I'll be using the phone as I normally would, my SIM card's in it. Even if I don't show you, like I'm using WhatsApp, I'm using WhatsApp. I'm gonna use it like a normal phone. So I'm gonna do that throughout the day, and we're gonna check in on the battery and just kind of see how that's doing. I'm also gonna take photos on this phone and some of its competitors and put that up on the screen so you guys can be the judge on how you think it did. But with all that said, first things first, I need coffee. Coffee, check. This feels a little weird because for the first time in over 3 months, I'm actually kind of sitting outside at a coffee shop. So essentially what's happening is here in New York City, we're entering phase 2 of our reopening as of today. And our numbers have been going down constantly for the last few months. And so now coffee shops and restaurants are now to have people at them, but only outside, 6 feet apart, lots of other rules, etc., etc. I don't know, kind of excited to have some level of normalcy back. And so long as those numbers keep going down, I'm okay with it. Okay, let's talk about how pretty this phone is now and how good it feels. The phone is curved on the front and the back, so we have this sort of like pointed edges on either side. And that might sound like a bad thing, but combined with that 20.5:9 aspect ratio, making it skinny and tall, it honestly feels really nice in the hand and just looks a lot nicer than I expected. Okay, now a little socially distant lunch in the park. I also got another coffee, because duh. But let's talk about the cameras on the Velvet. So here we have a similar arrangement to the LG V60, but we have different sensors. So we have an 8 megapixel ultra-wide f2.2 15mm lens, and then we have a standard 48 megapixel f1.8 26mm half-inch sensor with 0.8 micron sized pixels that are binned in sets of 4 to get a 12 megapixel image with 1.6 micron sized pixels when we're done. For the 2x zoom camera, it essentially punches in on the main sensor and it achieves a 2x crop zoom essentially that way, just like it did with the V60. For more info on that, how it works, and the numbers related to the V60's setup, I did a complete walkthrough on that, which I'll link to here. Now, I, like some of you, I think, am kind of interested to see just how this phone's camera holds up to the more expensive V60. Now, we don't have an exact price on the Velvet right now, but for what it launched in Korea, if you do a direct conversion, it's about $730 something, which chances are, in my opinion, usually those come lower than that when they actually release. So it's maybe like, it'll be $699 is my guess. Okay, while we're here, let's check in on the battery like we do. It is 1:28 p.m. and we are at 75%. Speaking of the price, which again, while filming this, we still don't know outside of Korea, they did also launch a thinner, albeit still not that thin, dual screen case for the phone. And based on past devices, it's probably safe to say that LG will have at least some carriers or retail partners in some markets probably give away that dual screen case for free. So at least there's that. Now, personally, I don't really use the dual screen case very much in any of these devices just because, I don't know, I prefer the full one folded screen thing just because of how Android works. When you have two separate screens, it ends up kind of working as two different devices. So you can do multitasking really well. Like you'd have one app on one screen and one app on the other, but you can't really, not in a very good way, use one app across both, which is kind of more what I would prefer. But some people do love the dual screen, obviously, and it is at least good for gaming thanks to LG's Game Pad, which you can kind of set up a Bluetooth controller on one half or one of the screens and then play the game on the other half, which at least that's kind of cool. The other interesting accessory that LG sent me with my review unit is this Wacom Bamboo Ink Active Stylus, which the Velvet and the dual screen both support, just like I mentioned the V60 does in my walkthrough on that. Now, the downside, of course, is that there is nowhere to put the pen, and it will most likely cost extra, about $70 or so at the time of making this video. Okay, and let's check in on the battery again. It is 6:47 p.m., and we are at 41%.
Hi, friend.
Where you been?
Screw you.
Calling it a night. A late one, but it's done. And yeah, it is 2:07 a.m. and we are at 22%. Not bad. Also, here is my screen on time and my usage for anyone who's curious. But there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this real world test. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of it. If you have any suggestions for future ones, always appreciate hearing from you guys. And if you like this video, please thumbs up it or share it. It's greatly appreciated. Also, check out the rest of the channel. If you like what you see there, please subscribe and ding the bell next to the word subscribe so you get notified when I do new videos. As always, though, regardless, thanks for watching.